Hello, everybody. Please come on in. Let's talk. Let's talk. I had to rush in from where I was, but yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hello, and welcome. So let's get talking. Please like as you come in. And yep. So obviously, you guys see from obviously the title and the image on your face on your screen. There's been a hula since since we were told, or the white paper was released yesterday. So yesterday being the 12th of May, and then the white paper that we were we were promised. Please guys, like us to come in before I get started. Please like us to come in. Like as a comment. So obviously, hello Stephanie, please. So since the Labour Party told us yesterday, obviously prior to that, I did say there's been back and forth about this immigration stuff. And in the past, I would say maybe in the past 6 years now, there's been talks of immigration. They were trying to do something about it. And obviously they released the white paper, and with that being said, the white paper obviously is consisted of the major thing that they're going to be dealing with. And from all that have been released, my questions remain, maybe because I've not read the 82 pages, but then they released an 82-page white paper and they released a short version of it, which is a 12 pages. I've skimmed through the 12 pages, and the question I have is that they are now making things difficult in a variety of ways for people who are apparently going to try and come into the UK. I hope I'm not mistaken. Let me share an image with you while I'm here, actually. Let me share my screen with you. So for those of you who might just like obviously what we're talking about, you guys can see from there, from my screen there. So it's not a must that you read the entire 82 pages. Okay, so this is like a summary of the key changes in that white paper. So when I looked at all of these things, and I was kind of like asking myself that why are they making things difficult for skilled workers? Because as it is, they've targeted skilled workers. And in a way, skilled workers that are going to be coming in, they are documented, right? Okay, so they've spoken about settlements and citizenship. Indefinite leave to remain now has been increased from 5 years to, from the first screen that you can see settlement and citizenship. Indefinite leave qualifying period has been increased from 5 to 10 years for most migrants, and settlement and citizenship will depend on a contribution-based assessment, and they are going to be considering tax compliance, employment in skilled sectors, community involvement, all of this, is going to contribute into your settlement and citizenship. Obviously, skilled worker visa as well. So minimum level requirement for that would be RQE level 6, bachelor's degree level. And in a way, I don't think this is going to impact Nigerians in any way, because an average Nigerian has a BSc. I can confidently say that an average Nigerian has a BSc. So I'm actually coming back to do this because obviously I'm a Nigerian, so I know a lot of Nigerians have a lot of questions. And yes, guys, this is just for information purposes alone. This is a disclaimer. I am not an immigration advisor. I am not offering you any advice. I am just thinking, obviously, as a Nigerian who is already in the UK, settled in the UK, and I'm just looking at the changes they've made, and I'm like, hold on, this doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so salary threshold would rise and immigration salary list will be abolished. So there used to be a list for immigration in terms of work and what kind of salary you should earn. So now that list, they are now saying that list is going to be abolished, and employers must prove domestic recruitment efforts within and investments in UK working force. So they are now saying that British people are going to have to be the one to fill all of the positions they are requiring to be filled rather than bringing in overseas workers. So now every Briton, every Briton in the UK, the government are hoping that they will be able to fill up the vacancies instead of bringing in people from the abroad, which is okay. All right, which is okay. At least they are looking out for those of us Britons who are settled in the UK. That's what they are looking out for us. And also social care visas, which means that overseas recruitment rules will end. So there's no more social care visas, no healthcare worker visas. I believe that's been suspended for 5 years. So they will revisit it again in 2028. If they needed any, more overseas recruitment, they might consider that in another 5 years. And also English language rules. Like I said, Nigeria is a English speaking country. We shouldn't even be bothered about all of this because I don't see it affecting us. Obviously, I think the only thing that might maybe stop people from wanting to come into the UK, and which is what this government is wanting, would be the amount of time it will take for you to settle and get your citizenship. Because ideally, it should be 5 years. Now they've moved it to 10 years. And also employment obligations, immigration skills charge will rise by 32%, redirected to funds, UK training funds, blah blah blah. So that's pretty much the summary there. However, from all that have been shared so far, like I said, there's nothing in all of these things that have showed there's nothing that have showed what are they doing to stop people that, hello Abe, welcome back. What are they doing to stop people that are coming in via boats? You guys see the images here? Because yes, let me share another image with you before I go with, like, my mind is everywhere because I have a lot to talk about. So let me share this page with you. So ideally, this was the news that we woke up to on the 6th of May, saying that visa applications for some nationalities could be restricted. And so rightly, when I saw that post, I was like, something big is coming. Something big is coming. And when they really, I think it was 2 days after they released this, that they came out with Kemi Biden not coming up with whatever is going to happen. And she wants a human rights ECHR 8 or something to be reviewed and stuff like that. So here, when I saw the news, I knew they were coming up with lots of things. Obviously, from the start, visa applications for some nationalities could be restricted, and those nationalities included Nigeria, Sri Lanka, and I think Pakistan. So from the right up here, and it was dated 6th of May, visa applications from nationalities thought most unlikely to overstay. So obviously, these three countries are the ones that they believe will come into the UK to claim asylum. So it says here that under Home Office plans, first reported in times, people from countries such as Pakistan, Nigeria, and Sri Lanka may find it more difficult to come to the UK to work. And so the reason, because the ministers believe there's a particular problem with those who come to the UK legally on work or student visa. So that is, Nigerians will come here on work or study visa, and then they'll go ahead and claim asylum, which, if granted, would allow them to stay in the country permanently. Yes, that's happened in the past. And the Home Office spokesman said our upcoming immigration white paper will set out a comprehensive plan. So obviously, when they released this news, I knew something big was coming. And yes, that white paper was released yesterday. So it says here that it is not clear which nationalities are most likely to overstay their visas, as the Home Office has not published statistics on exit checks since 2020 due to a review, blah, blah, blah. So if I go further down, they said, according to Home Office figures, show that 108 people claimed asylum in the UK last year, and which is the highest level since 1979. Hello, Zino, welcome back again. So in total, 10,542 Pakistani nationals claimed asylum, the most of any nationality. So it was the Pakistani people that claimed asylum the most. You see from the figure there, over 10,000 Pakistanis claimed asylum. And then 2,862 Sri Lankan nationals, and then 2,841 Nigerians claimed asylum in the same period. So I don't know why they've now targeted Nigeria, because Nigeria did not even claim as much as Pakistan. So in a way, Nigeria shouldn't even be on that list. Hello, Moments with Ayo. Please like the live stream, guys. Nigeria did not even claim asylum as compared to Pakistan. So it goes on to show that latest figures 2023 to 2024, over 732,000 international students in the UK, with most coming from India and China. So majority of the students came from India and China. So even Nigeria, we are still carrying last in the amount of Nigerian students that are coming abroad to study. So the number of UK work and study visa dropped in 2024 compared to year before, and I believe I know why that dropped, because if you're coming here to study as international students, and study visas, you are not allowed to bring your dependents, you're not allowed to bring your children, your dependents, you are not allowed. So obviously that kind of like worked. So it goes on to show that I'm skipping through it because it's a very long read. Okay, so net migration, the number of people coming to the UK minus the number leaving, hit a record of now almost a million in the year 2023, then fell to 728,000 in year 2024. New rules introduced by the former minister Rishi Sunak in a bid to reduce migration levels appears to have contributed to the fall. That was obviously when they asked people to stop bringing their dependents in. So the previous conservative government increased the minimum salary for skilled workers. Yes, we all saw that. And some people came onto the streets of Whitey to come and beg for money. I'm not shading them, but it's just citing an example. So so they increased the wages from 26,000 per annum to over 38,000 and banned care workers from bringing that. So that kind of like helped. Obviously, you can see from almost a million down to 728. Okay. And also, with all that has been said, like I said, it's a long read. So now with this immigration white paper that they have released, they've not talked about those who are arriving by sea. They've not addressed that. And I'm curious to know why they've not addressed that. Because these people are coming in troops. They are undocumented. They could as well be criminals coming from those countries. They could be RAPIST, they could be MUHDER. They are not being documented. Tons of them are coming through the sea. But then this government thinks targeting those who are coming in illegally. So let's say, for example, Nigerians are coming. I mean, I've never heard of any Nigerian that enter boats to enter the UK. If you guys know of any, please let me know in the comment section. I don't think I've ever heard of a story of a Nigerian coming by the sea into the UK. So they've laid all of these things bare. And I'm like, okay, that's what I'm saying. My query is, why are you making it difficult? Or why are you making things tight? Why are you tightening things up for skilled workers? For example, skilled Nigerian who are coming into the UK. You have a record of them. They are coming in legally. As compared to those who are coming via the sea, whom you can't put a name to their face. You can't even confirm if they are originally from the country they are claiming. Like I said, they could be MUHDER, Madras. They could be RAPIST. They could be whatever. Like, guys, if any of you have seen that white paper, maybe because I've not read the 82 pages, but then I don't think there's anything in that 82 pages that's not been in the short summary we've been talking about in a few days. I was just lying on my bed this morning, and I was like, hold on, like, they've not addressed these people. And yes, those people are also contributing they're also inflating the immigration system in the UK. Because yes, they would come, and these people, you know how they look a lot alike. They could easily use each other's details to go and register at the GP. Abdullahi can call to say, I need an appointment with the GP, and the younger brother who came via the dinghy boat will go for that appointment, claiming to be that name. Guys, I hope you understand where I'm coming from. So how are illegal immigrants or how are illegal migrants exempted from this white paper? Because like I said, they've not addressed them in any way. Nothing so far in that white paper has pointed to them. Nothing. They are undocumented. The Home Office do not have their record. The Home Office do not know who they are. And yes, they will migrate into the system. Unlike people who are actually coming in through the front doors. You have to go as a Nigerian that you're coming out, you have to go through the British High Commission to apply for your visa. Hello, David Black, welcome. You need to go and apply for visa, documentation, proof of funds, all of that. You need to put it together, and then you enter UK from Nigeria via the airport. Immigration stamps you in. But those who are applying or who are coming into this country with the screen, with what you can see on your screen, how are they documenting them? They are also adding to the immigration. They're also adding to the lack of accommodation. They're also adding to the lack of the fact that Britons are not able to secure GP appointments. Like I've always said here, if I need my GP to see me, if I need my GP to see me, if I need to book an appointment, if I call my GP doctor surgery later than half 8, you will not get an appointment. Yes, I understand it might not be an emergency. Even when I've called at times to say, okay, can I book an appointment for a week's time? We used to be able to do that like 5 years ago. Before COVID, we used to be able to do that. But since after COVID, even if I want to book an appointment in a week in advance, they will tell me they don't have any, that I should call on the day that I am wanting the appointment. And I'm like, come, I work 4 days a week. I only have 1 day off in the week. And my appointment and my off duty or my work duty plan in the next 4 weeks, I do not have it. So why are you telling me that I should call on the day that I need the appointment? And yes, if you call later than half 8, they will tell you, oh, sorry. In fact, once you answer the call, once you pick up the phone, that song, I can't remember that song now. It will tell you, you are number 27 on the queue. By the time it's your turn, they will tell you there are no more appointments. You should call back the following morning. And yes, you try again. Half 8. At times, I start phoning the number from 8:27. And by that 8:27, I am probably number 48 on the queue. Which I find really crazy. So my issue, yes, I'm like I said, some of these things that Keir Starmer has released, in a way, it's benefiting some of us. Like I said, I'm settled there. It's beneficiary for me in a way. And also those who are coming as well, I would not say it is bad. It is not bad, because if you're able to present yourself, or if you're able to go through the things that you are required in order to be able to come into this country, you'll be absolutely fine. But those who are coming through the boat, how are they being regulated? There could be criminals coming via that route, and no immigration is documenting them. So, like, I don't understand. Like I said, I was just thinking about it earlier, and I was like, hold on, they've not actually addressed people who are coming via that route. Is it that they don't think it adds up to the immigration in the UK? Do they not think it adds up to the immigration in the UK? So obviously, this is another short version of that immigration white paper. And they went on to say, obviously, to reduce migration and strengthen border. I don't think they are strengthening the border, because I would imagine the border is part of the sea when people come through the sea. Radical reforms to Britain's immigration system, restoring control to our borders and reducing record high levels of net migration has been set out. So it says here that many measures unveiled, white paper was released yesterday, and it will reshape our immigration system towards those who contribute most to economic growth. It's understandable. If you're in this country and you don't want to work, of what use are you? Go back to where you come from. Why are you not working? If there's nothing wrong with you, why are you not contributing to the economic growth? It makes sense. With higher skill standards for graduates and workers, new requirements on employers to book domestic training will end on the reliance on international recruitment, restoring order to a field system. That said, blah, blah, blah. So key policies, 82 pages, blueprint. Like I said, in that 82 pages, I've shared the highlight with you guys. Welcome, everybody. I see you. I've shared the highlight with you guys, but how are they documenting people that are coming by the boats? How are they documenting them? They've not said anything in regards to those people in their blueprints. Well, I've not read the 82 pages, but those who are ethical, those who are fast readers, they've been able to let us know the high points. And yes, even on the page 15, on the 15 pages, they've told us what it is that they are focusing on, but they are not focusing on the people that are coming through the back door. Like I said, they could be murderers, they could be rapists, they could be whatever, they could be criminals coming from their country, but they are not documented. And the UK government do not think that they are contributing to the immigration in this country. So obviously, the key policies of whatever they release include the following: reversing the long-term trend of increasing international recruitment at the expense of skills and training. The labor market evidence group will be established, drawing on the best data available in order to make informed decisions about the state of the labor market and the role that different policies should play, rather than always relying on migration. Departments across government will engage sector bodies as part of this. So raising skilled worker threshold. Skilled must mean skilled. Yes, they don't want people who have low skill. And trust me, it is no be every Brit on the go school. So now they don't want students anymore, because at the end of the day, they've increased the threshold, the cost, How many Britons are going to all these universities? Even universities are already complaining that they might be forced to shut down because they don't have students. They don't have students. A lot of people are not going to school. Who are filling up all the universities in the UK? International students. And international students are not only just coming, they are bringing money. They are bringing money. Do you guys know how much international students pay for school fees? Do you know? Do you know? So it says there that lifting the level for skilled workers back to graduate level and above, salary thresholds will rise. Okay, the immigration list, obviously, they are going to. We were reading that earlier, and they're going to stop that. Access to the points-based immigration system will be limited to occupations where there have been long-term shortages on a time-limited basis, where the Migration Advisory Committee has advised it is justified. And I believe that shortages will obviously remain the healthcare sector because, like I said, we have an aging imaging system. I mean, an aging system in the UK. So we will need people, and trust me, some Britons, a huge percentage of Britons do not believe in working because they have, like we were talking about this yesterday. A few of them, the salary I earn a month, a few of them are actually getting it every month without moving a finger on benefits. So tell me how they are looking to recruit Britons to do all the jobs that overseas workers are doing. So where there is a workforce strategy in place and where employers seeking to recruit from abroad are committed to playing their part in increasing recruitment from the domestic workforce. So let me read your comments a little bit so I'm not ignoring you guys. So Vivian said, you're absolutely right. Did you know Alex Rudak exactly was charged for came? That's what we're talking about. Vera said they will have to resign when the shortage. That's what I'm saying. Obviously, they are saying they are going to stop it for 5 years, so they are going to revisit it in 2028. I don't think they will last that long. Because, like I said, how many Britons are going to work? How many are going to work? Because if most of them will say, oh, they would rather sit down on the dough, they would rather sit down on the benefits than go to work, do all of that stress, and most of them would not. But then that's the plan of this government, and I'm laughing in French. I am laughing in chung 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 chung. That's how I'm laughing. Because no country is actually evolving without migrants. And I'm sure they know this. So let's keep reading this. So adult social care, we all know that. End overseas recruitment. Yes, social care visas has been abolished. And we all know it was after, or was it during COVID that they opened all of these several type of visas, so people were coming on the healthcare visa, healthcare visa thing is COS, and COS that some of our Nigerians have now turned to a means of making money selling COS. Maybe this way would also stop people from selling COS as well. I was actually thinking of that earlier on. Maybe now that they've stopped the social care visas, all this COS thingy, it's not going to be available again. Maybe it will stop people who are selling COS now. It will take business off their hand, which I think is a good thing. Okay, so here they are saying, in line with our wider reforms to skills threshold, we will close social care visas to new applicants from abroad for a transition period until 2020. So another 5 years, there will no longer be any social care visas. While the workforce strategy is being developed and rolled out, we will permit visa extension. So which means that those who are already here, maybe on a 2-year visa, or those who have, maybe for example, those who have 1-year COS visa, they will be able to extend their visas. And I think that made sense. And in-country switching for those already here, which makes sense. So if you're already here and you're on some sort of visa, there's a possibility that they could be extending your visa. But then I don't know how much that's going to cost you to apply. So they did say that this will be kept under review. So in terms of studying, they said we will strengthen the requirement that all sponsoring institutions must meet in order to recruit international students. They are already meeting I think international students and these universities are already meeting the requirements anyways. You pay your fees, you submit documentations. Universities will not just give you admission if they don't think you qualify or you have the requirements in order to come study that program. Okay, I don't think they will just take you because you claim you have this. You have to show proof of that. So they are now saying that we will introduce new interventions for sponsors who are close to failing their sponsor duties, including placing them on an action plan designed to improve their compliance and imposing limits on the number of new international students they can recruit while they are subject to those plans. So I think they are trying to cut down on the amount of students they sponsor into the UK. And like I said, lots of universities in the UK are going to shut down. with this, they will shut down. They will. And also, they've obviously, once you are a graduate, you finish your graduate job, you're allowed to stay. Before, you're allowed to stay in the country for 2 years. Now they've done that, they've reduced that to 18 months. There's no a difference in 4 months, anyways. So, family, they say we will tackle the over complex family and private life immigration arrangements. Obviously, people with the Article 8, and they're also looking to tackle Article 3. I actually don't know what is involved in that Article 3, but I would look that up now. So they're saying that when too many cases are treated as exceptional rather than having a clear framework, so legislation will be brought forward to make clear it is the government and parliament that decides who should have the right to remain in the UK. So I think they're trying to take this out of the UK, in the UK immigration hands now, that it is only the government that will decide if you should stay or not. This will address cases where Article 8, right to family life, legal arguments are being used to frustrate deportation, where the mobile is clearly in the public interest. I'm sure Kemi Badnock was talking about this, so they've actually taken this on board. So let me go find out what Article 3 is all about, because I don't know what Article 3 is all about, guys. Let me quickly Google that, and I'll read it to you guys. Article 3, UK. I don't even know. Article 3. Okay, Article 3 of the European Convention on Human Rights is the only absolute right, and it states that no one shall be subjected to torture or to inhuman or degrading treatment or punishment. This article has been enacted in the UK by Human Rights 1990. So I think it correlates with Article 8 as well. Let me see the full details of Article 8. So Article 8 is part of the law through the Human Rights Act and provides everyone with the right to respect for his private and family life, his home and correspondence. This right continues to exist after Brexit. Article 8 cases have covered issues relating to privacy from the media, sexual orientation and identity, expulsion, extradition from the country, and the right to apply for a gender recognition certificate. So in a way, Article 3 and 8 seems to work hand in hand. Okay. Ismaila said, it's all game of self-interest. Do they really care? And they don't care. I don't think they 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 care. But like I said, it's not everything they've introduced that I am against. There are some that I feel like, okay, for those of us who are already here, I kind of agree with what they say. So obviously, they've also been going against the UK Prime Minister, because obviously I think he used to be a criminal lawyer, and he's also not agreeing with some of the things that Kemi Badenoch. So I'm going to play that video for you that I saw earlier on, and we'll listen to it together. So let's go on with this immigration white paper, okay? So obviously they are trying to say that it's only the government that can decide. So maybe they are going to take this out of the Home Office now on making decisions. I don't know how they intend to go through that. So that's pretty much that with family, okay? And obviously growth as well. They say we will go further in ensuring that the very highly skilled have opportunities to come to the UK and assess our targeted routes for the brightest and the best global talent. This includes increasing the number of people arriving on our very high talent routes alongside faster routes for bringing people to the UK who have the right skills and experience to supercharge UK growth in strategic industries. This includes increasing places to our scheme for research interns, making it easier for top scientific and design. And I think the people that make use of this particular growth are the Indians, the Chinese, and the Pakistanis. I think in this talent-based thingy, I think those are the countries I see that goes a lot into this growth thingy. Anything with research, with visa, with talent visa, with all of this renewing and innovator thingy. I think the people that are actually marginalizing this are the Indians, the Pakistanis, and the Chinese people. I think, in my own opinion. Also, tackling ABUSE, new policies will apply to individuals who claim asylum where conditions in their home country have not materially changed, particularly where they have claimed asylum after arrival. So, like I said, if you're a Nigerian and you are coming here to claim Adru, you are on a long thing because your deportation letter is just, they've already signed it there. Your deportation letter is already on the system. They are just waiting to stamp your name on it and send you back, because whoever you are, if you're a Nigerian, whoever that advises you to go and be seeking asylum after you've come here with a proper legit visa, you are on a long thing. You're on a long thing, obviously, which is why I'm referred to the fact that Nigeria is among the top 3 countries that are going to be restricted, because they are likely to claim asylum after entering the UK with a care visa or a working visa. Like, you gave you a visa to work. Why do you think claiming asylum is the next thing you want to go and do? Why do that? If you decide to go and claim asylum, that means you are alakpama shishe. you have rubber hands, you don't want to work. Because if you come into this country with a work visa, a care work visa, and you don't want to use it, and you have advised to go and seek asylum, you are just a dead, lazy bastard. That's what you are. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Vivian said, hello, Janet G. I see everybody. Please like this live stream for me. Vivian said, David, the country is not full. Carers are highly needed. Yes, but the natives do not want to do the job. Exactly. They claim the pay is too low for them to do. Exactly. You're absolutely right. And even now that they say that they will increase the salary, that maybe that will encourage them, they will train them, they will still not do this job. You guys mark my word, they will not do it. Daniel, welcome. Daniel said, hello, sis, I'm just joining the live. Please, is there any change or changes to those of us with indefinite leave to remain? So if you're already here, like I'm not giving, so a disclaimer now, I'm not giving immigration advice, okay? But to the best of my knowledge, if you're already here, you should still be on the path of the 5-year renewal. Don't quote me, okay? Don't quote me. I'm not offering immigration advice, Daniel, but don't quote me. I believe this new information is taking effect after. So people who are coming after this white paper has been announced, they are the ones who are going to be impacted by the 10 years renewal thingy. So, like I said, don't quote me. But from all I've seen so far, I don't think those who are already here are going to be impacted, because they said over 210,000 people are going to be getting their indefinite leave in the next year. So, which means there's a lot of people who are qualifying for that already. So that's just what I'm going to say. That, like I said, disclaimer, I am not giving immigration advice. I'm just sharing my opinion. And this is just for information purposes alone. Okay. So immigration white paper continues saying that tighter visa controls, restrictions. So, like I said, they are still saying tighter visa controls. People that are coming to this country via the water, via dinghy boats, what are they doing about them? Requirements or scrutiny will be applied where we have evidence of ABUSC based on a clear assessment of the risk. Measures to ensure that other governments play their part in supporting the integrity of the UK immigration system, particularly where there are currency barriers in the way of us returning their nationals. Innovational financial measures, penalties, or sanctions, including for sponsors of migrants or students where there is evidence of abuse. This will incentivize them to act responsibly with new measures to support compliance with visa conditions. I would imagine that if you're a Nigerian, as Nigerians, we are coming in with the right visa anyways, but obviously they will come as a student, they can't cope, and then they will go and claim asylum. So like, this is coming from a Nigerian sister to another Nigerian brother or sister. Please don't at any time, if you come into this country on any kind of visa they've given you, try and work. And I've shared videos on my channel of how long it actually took me to start settling down. And I've always said the first 3 years in the UK, it will be tough, it will be rough. But by the end of the 3rd year, 4th year, you start to get yourself, you start to get around things. So if you're thinking because some of your mates are buying houses in a year, you don't know where they're coming from. You don't know, maybe they already have that money or they have the business that is funding their lifestyle. So if you're thinking, we came into the UK within a year together, they now have a mortgage. Come, in our journey will be the same. Your journey with theirs is not the same. So know that and have peace, okay? Also, they're talking about foreign national offenders. So here they say reform the deportation system to ensure the Home Office is informed of all foreign nationals convicted of offenses, not just those who go to prison. So this brings me back to those who are coming via the sea. They could be criminals from their country and they've entered into this country. How are they documented? Does the Home Office have details on them? Because like I said, they've not mentioned them in any way. And you guys might think I'm repeating myself, but it's important that we know, because they are contributing to the migration as well, to the immigration system in the UK. They are contributing. And like I said, those people that are coming, I have not heard of a Nigerian that came by the boats. And these people, they look alike a lot. They can easily give each other their documentation to go and work. They can easily give each other their documentation to go and register with the GP. And these are some of the things as well. But like I said, nothing has been said about them. Nothing has been said about them. Okay. So review deportation thresholds to take into account a wider range of factors than just the length of sentence, and start by revising the statutory exceptions criteria to ensure that the deportation test reflects the seriousness of violence against women and girls. So again, dinghy people that come through the dinghy routes, how are they doing? English language, like I said, if you're in Nigerian, English is not our problem. We can speak English. So introduce new English language requirements across a broader range of immigration routes for both main applicants. So now they're including dependents as well. Then normally it will be the main applicants. Now they are including the dependents as well to ensure a better knowledge of English, including an assessment of improvement over time. Exactly. Like, why would you want to go to a country where you're not able to speak or communicate? You will struggle. It was just like me when I went to Germany. I know Sabi German. Anytime I start to speak English, they'll say, no English, no English. You can imagine me living in Germany. Imagine me living in Germany. Imagine me living in Germany and I can't speak Dutch or I can't speak whatever it is they speak. No English, no English. And I'm like, come on, you can't be a bus driver and you don't speak English. You can't be working with the public and you don't speak English. Obviously, English is not their first language in Germany, so I clearly understand. But here in the UK, English is a major language, so you should be able to speak fluently. Maybe not fluent, but speak ta and write. That's what they're looking for. But now they're not even expecting you to be able to speak ta. They want you to be eloquent, speak fluently up to level 6, according to them. So earned settlement and citizenship. I think this one is a major one that people are like, no, it's not fair. You know, this is the one that people are actually speaking. And yes, Kemi Badenoch is saying that 15 years, but Keir Starmer is saying 10 years is just. Double the standard qualifying period for settlement to 10 years. Okay, and you can imagine 10 years, if you're on some sort of visa, you're not allowed to claim any sort of public funds. You can't claim benefits. You can't do any of those things. Anything you are spending, anything you have will be from your work, will be from what you earn. You can imagine, say, for example, me now, assuming I came on a certain visa and I have 5 children. How will I care for 5 children when it's going to take me 10, 15 years to get indefinite leave to remain? Because it's after you get your citizenship that you'll be able to apply for benefit. Let's say, okay, you're like, okay, now I don't want to work for another 5 years. There's a way you go about it. You'll be able to claim for benefits. But if you are within that phase when you are yet to settle, or more, it's expensive. It is expensive. So they say here that expand the points-based system to both our settlement and citizenship rules. So they are based on contribution to the UK. And like I said, if you are somebody in the country and you're looking to settle and you're not putting back into the system, of what use are you in the UK then? Of what use? You need to contribute into the society where you intend to live, with further details to be set out to Parliament by the end of the year. The policies outlined, part of the government's plan for change, will be delivered over the course of this Parliament to strengthen the UK's immigration system, with the first changes set to be introduced in the coming weeks. So in a couple of weeks, all of these changes will be, it's going to be bam, set, ready to go. So the government will publish further reforms to the asylum system and border security later this summer. So yeah, they are rolling out bit by bit. For the fact that they've mentioned this, it's definitely going to come to pass. It's definitely going to come to pass. Building on measures in the border security. And like I said, my concerns still remain and my questions still remain. They've not said anything about people who are arriving into the country via dinghy boats. And it's crazy. Okay. I'm surprised they've not mentioned anything. Okay, so I found a video on Keir Starmer that I was talking about. And I think somebody did write here that he's a criminal lawyer or something before he became a prime minister. Let me share that video with you guys. And yeah, I'll take a couple of calls if anybody wants to, and then we shall round up. So let's listen to this video, because man is trying. Okay.
This Labour government is shutting down the lab.
So according to the write-up from this man, it says that Keir Starmer was a criminal defense and human rights lawyer. So he knows the court will strike down some of his proposals. Yes, and Kemi Badenoch has been raging. She has been raving. He cannot say he will disapply the human rights like Kemi Badenoch wanted in immigration cases. Despite the very harsh proposal, the leader of the opposition and the others say it is not far-reaching enough. Yeah, the opposing party says they want to be 15 years. But this guy say 10 years is just fair. Even though it's still but okay. They are treating immigrants, including legal ones, as a burden. Yes, they are treating migrants as a burden, and we are not, because at the end of the day, if they are not struggling, they will not open the borders for all of these highly skilled care workers to come into the country. Okay, so this person continues. Obviously, this guy is also a lawyer himself. So he continues saying that most are not entitled to public funds, yes, and make valuable contributions to the society. This rhetoric will continue, but no caption can do. No nation can do without immigrants, as the world has become a global village. Give the legal migrants a credit due, and immigration control must be with a human face. Absolutely. But let's hear.
Experiment is over. We will deliver what you've asked for time and again. and we will take back control of our borders. And let me tell you why. Because I know on a day like today, people who like politics will try to make this all about politics, about this or that strategy, targeting these voters, responding to that party. No, I'm doing this because it is right, because it is fair, and because it is what I believe in. Let me put it this way. Nations depend on rules, fair rules. Sometimes they're written down, often they're not. But either way, they give shape to our values, guide us towards our rights, of course, but also our responsibilities, the obligations we owe to each other. Now, in a diverse nation like ours, and I celebrate that, these rules become even more important. Without them, we risk becoming an island of strangers, not a nation that walks forward together. So when you have an immigration system that seems almost designed to permit abuse, that encourages some businesses to bring in lower paid workers rather than invest in our young people, or simply one that is sold by politicians to the British people on an entirely false premise, then you're not championing growth. You're not championing justice, or however else people defend the status quo. You're actually contributing to the forces that are slowly pulling our country apart.
That was actually explained.
So yes, I believe in this. I believe we need to reduce immigration significantly. That's why some of the policies in this white paper go back nearly 3 years. Why I told the Labour Party conference, taking back control
Why the live stream,
is
guys?
a Labour argument. And why, most importantly of all, inward migration is already falling with this government. It's about fairness. And look, I mean, migration is part of Britain's national story. We talked last week about the great rebuilding of this country after the war. Migrants were part of that, and they make a massive contribution today. And you will never hear me denigrate that. But when people come to our country, they should also commit to integration, to learning our language. And our system should actively distinguish between those that do and those that don't. I think that's fair. Equally, Britain must compete for the best talent in the world, in science, in technology, in healthcare. You can't simply pull up a drawbridge, let nobody in, and think that's an economy that would work. Today, this Labour government is shutting down the lab. The experiment is over. We will deliver what you've asked for time and again, and we will take back control of our borders.
I don't think they are doing that.
And let me tell you why. Because I know on a day like today, people who like politics will try to make this all about politics, about this or that strategy, targeting these voters, responding to that party. No, I'm doing this because it is right, because it is fair, and because it is what I believe in.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, when I started doing this live, when I started talking about this white paper thing, I've already said a disclaimer. I am not an immigration lawyer. If you have any advice, if you were here yesterday, if you have any concern about your visa, my first point of call, which I advise you, is to speak to your employer. Ask them. And if you're not happy with your answer, contact your nearest citizen advice bureau. I'm not an immigration lawyer. I'm only giving my opinion here. So whatever it is I've given you, it's by no way any advice. Go speak to your citizen advice bureau, your local CAB. They call them CAB. If you put your postcode in Citizens Advice Bureau go ask them. They are in the best position. And like I said yesterday, is I will suggest you book an appointment in advance. And when you are booking an appointment in advance, they will ask you like a summary of why you want an appointment. So that way, it just helps them to help you gather more information before you come for that appointment. So, and upon going to the Citizen Advice Bureau, if your questions are still not answered, I will advise you go speak to an immigration lawyer. That's what I'm going to say. Do not ask me any personal question about your immigration status because I do not have an answer for you. I'm sorry. I just need to put that out there, okay?
Let me put it this way. Nations depend on rules, fair rules. Sometimes they're written down, often they're not. But either way, they give shape to our values, guide us towards our rights, of course, but also our responsibilities, the obligations we owe to each other. Now, in a diverse nation like ours, and I celebrate that, these rules become even more important. Without them, we risk becoming an island of strangers, not a nation that walks forward together. So when you have an immigration system that seems almost designed to permit abuse, that encourages some businesses to bring in lower paid workers rather than invest in our young people, or simply one that is sold by politicians to the British people on an entirely false premise, then you're not championing growth. You're not championing justice, or however else people defend the status quo. You're actually contributing to the forces that are slowly pulling our country apart. So yes, I believe in this. I believe we need to reduce immigration significantly. That's why some of the policies in this white paper go back nearly 3 years. Why I told the Labour Party conference, taking back control is a Labour argument. And why, most importantly of all, inward migration is already falling with this government. It's about fairness. And look, I mean, migration is part of Britain's national story. We talked last week about the great rebuilding of this country after the war. Migrants were part of that, and they make a massive contribution today. And you will never hear me denigrate that. But when people...
I think we've probably listened to this multiple times already. So that's pretty much that, guys. So I think this guy is trying his best, but but the other opponents are trying to make things difficult for him. And I know people are mad, like, 10 years is crazy. So I found something else. Let's listen to this one as well. Let's listen to this.
Paper, the language of Enoch Powell was used by the Prime Minister. There's been no speaking up about the enormous value of migration to this country that's kept our NHS running, our education service running, and so much more, and that there are already 130,000 vacancies in the care sector. Does anything in her white paper do anything to improve community relations or deal with the now labour shortage within the NHS and the care service? Or is it all about trying to please these people who unfortunately sit in front of me? The Home Secretary explained why in the introduction of this white paper, the language of...
So you guys, that's pretty much that. That's my, my concern there, my thought. Like, I'm really just concerned at the fact that, yeah, there are people with skills who should be in this country, but then you guys are making it difficult for them to come in. However, they've not addressed people who are coming in via the boats. So that's just my take there. And I was like, let me come discuss this with you to see what you guys have in mind. There was also actually another video I saw on X. I'm not able to find it now. Let me see if I can actually find it. It was actually saying something about the fact that why are they criminalizing migrant? Like I said, there's no country that does not, that immigration is not part of their existence. Like, you need people. If you don't need us, why did you ask for us in the first place? And I did say yesterday that they are now building they are opening multiple embassies in Nigeria. Like, why are you opening those multiple embassies if you don't want people to apply and come in? Why are you applying? So there's a certain post I'm trying to find that I saved it earlier and I just don't know where it is now. Anyway, guys, I'm going to drop the link in the comment section, take a couple of calls, and then we'll round up. I only plan to be here for an hour. An hour. I mean, a minute, an hour. I'm only planning to be here for an hour. Okay, I'm going to drop the link in the comment section, and I'll take two calls. Okay, yes, I'm not answering any immigration questions. I just want your contribution in regards to people who are arriving by boat, like who really actually inflate, like who are actually making inflation, I mean, immigration goes haywire. In my own opinion, they've not said anything about people who are arriving by the boat. Like I said, my concern, they could be criminals, they could be whatever it is. Nobody has that, nobody knows their true identity. Nobody could actually say, oh, this is so person from so person. But people who are coming from all of these places in terms of care worker, visa, students, and everything, you have their identity, you know them. They came in through the front door. They've not come through the back door. And then you're now trying to criminal. You are trying to shut them out. It's just not fair. It's not fair. Guys, the link is in the comment section. I will only take two calls. Let me see if I can find this other documentation that I'm trying to look for. If not, I'll await your calls. Okay. I'll await your call before we round up. So I'm only taking two calls. And I might actually just do another live stream on Natasha Akpoti, because Natasha Akpoti is in court today. So I'm trying to see what people have been saying about this as well. Yeah, okay. I think this was the guy whose post I saw earlier. I don't know if it's the one, but no, I can't find it. Okay, let me read the comment that Abby is dropping. So exactly, if you have any questions, if you're concerned if this is going to impact you, speak to your employer. Okay, if you're like, oh, okay, I've been here for 4 years, and in 1 year's time I should be applying for my indefinite leave I should be applying for my indefinite leave to remain. Will this impact me? I do not have the answer for you. I'm not an immigration lawyer. Go speak to your employer. If not, speak to your citizen advice bureau. Speak to your citizen advice bureau is the second step. If you want to get answers. And the third one is, if you're not still certain with what immigration and citizen advice bureau has given to you, go speak to an immigration lawyer. Okay, that is the only way you can get a detailed, informed advice if you are being impacted or not. So I think Daniels is here. Daniels, I'm going to give you a talking time of 2 minutes. Your time starts now.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sister.
You're welcome.
Okay. Yeah. Basically, I will take a different stance to this. All these immigration policies that are just being initiated now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just because, to be honest, if our politicians, if they mean well for us and they are futuristic,
yeah,
honestly, as an average African, we don't have business in Western world. I've been here now for 29 years. Yeah, I came in 1993, so you can
wow.
do this. Yeah, so yeah, we don't have business here because one of the reasons why they don't allow us to grow is because they know if we allow these people to grow, so they don't need us. They really need us. We don't need them, to be honest. At least if you consider what is going on in Burkina Faso now, who would have thought that, okay, Burkina Faso? Because I remember back then we used to name shame Burkina Faso as Burkina Sofa. That's the level of the poverty then. But look at it today now. That guy is just 37 years old. I'm even older than him. Look at him now sitting round table. Globally now is known. Not even about that, but look at what this guy has achieved within 2 years. That means it's possible. Look at what this guy has achieved within 2 years. They introduced a religion to capture us. Now they introduce a democracy to capture us. Are they practicing democracy in China? And they are growing. Are they practicing democracy in Russia? Russia is a global power. If only all these immigration policies now that it's been arrowed at particularly Africans, I must tell you. Because I've been here long enough to tell most people what I know what the Asians do in this country. You see one person having one British passport, and every one of them will answer Patel.
True, exactly. I was just talking about that earlier on.
Yeah, every one of them will answer Patel. You see in front of all the shops, they sell fruits, they sell pepper, sell all these things. Do you know how much, how much they make per day? All these policies is arrowed at we Africans particularly. But it's so unfortunate that okay, the so-called leaders, they are so wicked, so greedy, clueless. Yeah. Okay, look at the case of Cameroon now. Paul Biya is 90 plus. He's got dementia, and he's still going to the next election that is around the corner. They're still going to vote for him. So all these people, whatever immigration, whatever they can, okay, they can bring out is to edge us out. They don't, they are telling us because we're not thinking for years. It's been going on for decades. It's been going on for decades. You know, so it's not. We can't really blame them, to be honest. Mention one passport in Africa that can actually compete in the global distance. Just one. Not even South Africa. Forget about South Africa. Not a single one. So it's all political. It's all political. If only our leaders, they can listen to all these things. All they do now, what their problem now in Nigeria is 2027 election. Yeah. So all these things, we should take it to say, okay, let's see what we can do. Look at least some African countries now. They rescue themselves. They need us. My sister, they need us. We don't need them. I've been here long enough to know. I've been around Canada, US, name it. They need us. They don't have. What do they have? What? Okay. Look at the inflation rate in this country. 3.4%. So it's biting hard. It's biting hard. So it's going to affect everyone. That's why you see they are coming up with all these policies. Tell me what country of the world that can survive without immigration or immigrants?
There's none. They know.
None. But if only these people, they need us. Okay, you're pushing us out when we want to come over here, say to bring our forefathers' head. But it's like a stroll in the park when you want to go to Africa. Yeah. Look at what is going on in Namibia now. That lady, the new prime minister in Namibia, is going to deport some Westerners. It's going to deport them.
Yeah, I saw that a few days actually. Yes.
Yeah, because they've been there now. Some of them have been there for 30 years without not a single passport. Look at what is going on. Look, they have land in Africa. I've been there for 29 years. Do I have land? When all the mortgage we buy in this country, when it's time, when we're gone, they will say ask our children to pay 40% of it. Ask anyone of the mortgage that you fully paid. They will ask your children that you will the mortgage for. They will ask them to pay some percentage again.
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy actually, because I've seen somebody advising that, when your parents die, don't let them will their house to you. Tell them to put it in a trust. And I'm like, normally it should be your children that should have it.
Exactly, but should it even be all this? Look, okay, they come up with all sorts just to make life difficult. Tell me one white British that wants to work in this country. We are the one working to feed them.
Yes, so.
They will tell us, bring this, bring that, and our leaders are just there.
Yes,
they're just there throwing agbada.
Throwing agbada. You're right, sir.
So you can't blame these people. What? Okay, do you know what the resources that God has embedded in Nigeria alone? Nigeria. Look at what Burkina Faso is. What is giving them that strength now? What they are bragging on now? It's just gold. They don't have what we have. It's just the gold. So that whatever, listen, there are still more stringent immigration policies that will come after this. Just watch, because
I know definitely this is just a start.
Yeah, because as it is now, when conservative is going to campaign, they're going to make it look robust. They're going to make it flowery, to make it look decent, to make to entice us. By the time you will vote for them to vote Labour out, you will see they'll bring in more this thing. They look after themselves. They need us to feed their kids. I was trained as a telecom engineer. The people that we went to school together, graduated together. I trained them. They promoted them ahead of me right now.
That's crazy. So the people you trained, that actually happened. There was a time where in a particular department, the nurse that was training students, so students that she trained 2 years ago, that student now seek a job to that department. 3 years later, they promoted that student, that nurse that was a student. They promoted him to a charge nurse. I was like, what happened? Were you not interested in the role? She was like, did they even announce the role? They did not announce it. So how did
They
you know that they
won't.
were looking?
Any
And I was
advert
like,
you see, any civil service job that you see the advert is just for formality's sake. They have their candidate already. They have their candidate already, and they don't hide it. It's up to you, yeah. So if we like, it's up to our leaders. To be honest, if I'm going to ask you, my sister, are you not tired in this country?
I am tired, though. I won't lie. I am tired.
Exactly. Look at people relocating from Canada. You know, one thing about Nigerians is that we don't do our research. We don't research properly. Once
Yeah,
we hear, okay, it's Finland, everybody will head
everybody
to
just go.
Finland.
Yeah.
When it's Croatia, everybody heads towards Croatia. Oh, it used to be America. It used to be UK. But these people now, okay, when they see us coming in pool, of course they want to mess us up. Yeah, when they want to go to Nigeria, they stroll in. When they get to Nigeria, they have cook, they have gardener, they have security, they have everything. But when we come over here, our ministers, even the so-called illegitimate one that is there now, when he comes here, he carries his own bag.
I get it, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution. I really appreciate your contribution there. It is well. It is well. Okay, guys. So there was something else I found actually while I was obviously scrolling. Let me see if I can still find it. If not, I'm just going to take one more call and then we shall round up, guys. I said I was going to be here just for an hour. Okay. I've seen the post now. Let me share my screen with you. It's from a Nigerian lawyer, if I'm not mistaken. All right, I can't find it again now. Where is it gone? Let me find it before I share my screen. Nogeja. So yeah. Let me share my screen so you guys can watch. This is a Nigerian lawyer. I believe it's a Nigerian lawyer, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to place this video and then we shall round up, guys. Okay. Okay. And let me wait. I hope you guys can see my screen already. Okay, so let me play. Let's press play.
Policy proposal.
So obviously, I think somebody asked this question already, saying that hello solicitor. So I think somebody asked this question from this lawyer. I think he has a page. He's a solicitor actually. He has a page on TikTok. So somebody asked him, "Hello solicitor Kudus, I heard that ILR is now 10 years. Will it affect care worker visas on the 5-year route already?" I think it was Mr. Daniel that asked that question. So I don't know if you want to go find this man's page on TikTok, but let's listen to what he has to say.
That the government or the prime minister presented today becomes law or it is introduced in the immigration rules, then obviously it would affect care workers as well. It will affect all those on the work route, business route, family routes, etc. It's not likely going to affect those who are already on the routes, because that is how introduction of new legislation works. Bear in mind that the law has not changed. It is a long way to when we'll get to the point where this policy will become law. Now, what we have now is what they call a white paper. There is a very long cycle before you get to change of law. Now, it usually would have started with a green paper, which is a generic policy position of the government. And then you get to the white paper, which is what the Prime Minister presented today, and I think it's been published. After the publication of this white paper, it will move on to the scrutiny stage. It would be scrutinized in Parliament and elsewhere. After the scrutiny and further consultation stages, then you get to the point where the government will draft the bill. Now, the drafting of the bill is the legislative process now. Now, it is introduced through Parliament in different stages. You will have the first reading, the second reading, and it gets to the committee stages, where specialist parliamentary committees would look into the bill. You go through all this before the bill is passed into law. We're quite far away to the new legislation. So for now, concentrate on your route. And most importantly, it is very unlikely to affect those who are already on the routes. If the new policy proposal that the government or the Prime Minister presented today becomes law, or it is introduced in the immigration rules, then obviously it will affect care workers as well.
So I hope you guys already heard that. So I hope Mr. Daniel is still here, and maybe that kind of gives you a clear understanding. Okay. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to round up this live stream. I just want to put in my thoughts there that, you know what, okay, with all that has been said so far, nothing has been said about these people in this picture. Obviously, it's just an image that I generated, but yes, we do know that people do come in via, you know, via dinghy boats. They are undocumented, and these people, some of them, majority of them, will go on to claim asylum. And we all know how much the government is spending when it comes to asylum. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So how they've not addressed them is what actually led me to come do this live stream today. So you guys heard from that lawyer there. Go find him. I think this could do something. Could do something. Go find him on TikTok. You might be able to maybe just be lucky enough, if you drop your comment in the end of his videos, you might just be able to have an answer for you. So with that being said, like, you know, continue to be a good citizen, you know, continue to contribute into the system. Okay, there's no point of you living in a different country from where you've originated from and you're not contributing. Please contributing. Don't be like those homeborn children who don't want to work. Like I said, there are tons of them as well who don't believe in working because they believe that the benefits they have can actually pay for them, for themselves. I mean, for them, they go on luxury holidays, and you that you are working 37.5 hours a week, you that you are working full-time hours, maybe it's once every 3 years that you go on holiday. My last holiday was last year, was year before last year. I think it was year before last year that I went to Turkey. My last holiday was 2020. Was 2020 23, if I'm not mistaken. I think I can't remember when I went. When did I turn 40? 2 years ago was when I turned 40. So that was the last time I went on I went on holiday to the abroad. I went on holiday to Turkey. Since then, I don't have any holiday abroad planned, and I don't think I have any plan because everything is gone up in price. The last holiday that I went to with my kids, it cost us £5,500 just to go to Turkey there for a week. £5,500. So yeah. Anyway, guys, this is me ending this live stream. If you've not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? And if you're going to watch this video back, feel free to drop your thoughts and opinion in the comments. As always, let's discuss. You know, maybe there's still going to be more. Obviously, there's still more that's still going to be released, which we have not seen or heard about yet, but we just need to wait and see. So don't hesitate to, you know, if you have any business for me, feel free to contact me by my email. And if you'd like to be a guest, if you'd like to collaborate on any of my videos with me, feel free to reach out to me via my email as well. And yes, join my membership, support this channel. You can support me via PayPal, or you can super chat me on my YouTube channel as well. Whichever way, thank you in advance. And if you're yet to follow me, go follow me on Instagram. I'm known as ThatMom5. And also go find me on TikTok as Just Doing Me. And yes, last word from Abby and Vivian there. Do your own part, and also don't bring your bad behavior from your country here. Yes, that's a very, very good one. Don't bring your bad behavior from your country. Yes. And lastly, from Vivian there, saying, Abby, it's the little I can do. A simple Google search of free immigration advice would help those seeking advice. Well done, ladies. Anyway, guys, this is where I drop the mic. It's quite sunny out here. Let me go take a wee 5 minutes walk downstairs to enjoy the sun. And hopefully I shall see you tonight. I think there's another live stream for 7 o'clock. I'll see how I go or how it goes with that. And yeah, thank you so much, guys. And please don't hesitate to like this live stream before you leave. Share. You can never tell who this video might help, or you can never tell. They might just see the question we've asked and maybe they might have an answer. With that being said, thank you, guys. Peace out.